Hi guys, welcome to another video on All the Gear Some Idea. Today we've got some developments with the Mini. Had a few exciting developments yesterday, few not so exciting developments. So I actually picked up a set of wheels yesterday. You can just see the tyres over my left shoulder. Yeah, my left shoulder, you're right. Yeah, so we've got some wheels and tyres to go on today. However, in the process of driving to collect said wheels and tyres, we had a very concerning light come on the dash, that being the oil pressure light. Obviously that's not ideal. I have to say the engine, I mean obviously as soon as the light came on I pulled over where it was safe to do so and checked the oil level. There was oil in the engine, so it leads me to believe there is possibly a dip in oil pressure at low RPM. Because it seems to be happening when I put my foot on the clutch and then the revs dropped. There hasn't been, luckily, any alarming noises from the engine, no knocking or etc. I pulled the oil cap off the engine, it was oil still circulating out the top of the engine, so I guess that's a good thing. But today we're going to change some bits and bobs and hopefully sort that issue. It seems to be happening when the engine gets hot, so obviously the oil gets thinner. Worst comes to the worst, it could be the oil pump's on its way out. I'm going to check the pickup today in the sump, because I know that timing chain guides can break up and get caught in the pickups in the sump on this engine, so I'm going to check that today. Also going to change the oil, put an oil filter in it, because obviously if your oil filter's quite old and dirty, chances are that could be blocking the oil circulation and therefore reducing the oil pressure in the engine, because I believe the oil pressure sensor on these is in the actual oil filter housing itself, so or around that area. So thanks to George for that heads up on that one. So obviously that was George's idea to check the oil filter. I mean, for the price of an oil filter, whilst you're in there taking it out, you might as well just change it. I should have done it when I did the filter housing gasket really, but yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing. So yeah, obviously we're gonna have to sump off today, so we're gonna have to clean that whilst it's off, and then put some fresh sealant on that before it goes back on. I'm also gonna be changing the PCV valve today. So that's a little valve on top of the engine. I'll show you in a second. And basically what that does is it vents positive crankcase pressure back to the inlet, and I believe it is stuck. And I think that's causing me to burn a little bit of oil in the engine. So yeah, without further ado, we'll get cracking on and take you along for a ride. So this is that PCV valve section I was telling you guys a second ago. That sits on top of there like so, and as I say, it's not looking in great condition. I'm not sure if it was working or not, but it is a common issue or common fault to have with these, so it makes sense to change it whilst we're in here. No idea what that is, but I thought I'd pull it off, just have a look. So yeah, it comes with a replacement spring. New valve goes in there. And it's effectively job done. So having two tacks in on that front. And that just clips in there like so. Did give it a bit of gentle persuasion because it did feel like it was a bit temperamental going on, but it looks like it's gone into position. So sorry for the heavy handiness. It's on. Sweet. So let's move on to getting this oil drained. Right, so here we are underneath the Mini. We are battling with a bit of wind today, so I do apologise if you can hear that through the camera. But nonetheless, we're going to crack on. Let's get this oil out. It's what I call a messy sump plug, this one. It starts dripping as soon as you undo it. Some of them are a bit more lenient and a bit nicer. So that's actually filled up quite quickly, which is good. So I'm just going to put that sump plug back in and then get this oil drain pan emptied. Right, so majority of the engine oil is drained. We're going to crack on and remove the sump now. The sump itself is held on by a series of 8mm all around the bottom. So we're going to get those removed and then get the sump off. Give it a clean, give the face on the engine a clean, and get it refitted, and obviously check the oil pickup whilst the sump's off. Right then, so got all the bolts removed from the sump now. I'm going to try and leave it off. Hopefully it's not going to take too long. There we go. Coming on really quite nice actually, just as usual. There we have it. One sump pan removed. And looking up at the oil pump, doesn't look like there's anything in the pickup, so that can only be a good thing. So you can see your oil pickup here, and that's all part of the oil pump. The oil pump itself is driven by the crankshaft, which is the little chain which runs off the front crank pulley. So yeah, that's around about it for the inside the oil pump view. It actually doesn't look too bad in there, so quite pleased with that, if I'm honest. We're going to crack on and get this sump cleaned and get the face and the engine cleaned, get some fresh sealant on it and put it back on. So obviously got the sump removed now, giving it a good clean inside. We just need to get rid of all these bits of sealant now around the edge. So I'm going to do that using this scraping tool. We've already cleaned off the engine side using the same tool, and I'll give it a quick wipe round with a bit of brake cleaner before applying some sealant, and then we'll put it back on. Right then guys, so you join me just back underneath the Mini, just cleaning off any residue left on the bottom of the engine. As you can see, we've cleaned up the face along here where the oil sump meets the engine. So obviously any debris or remaining sealant from the previous seal isn't going to compromise the sealing of our fresh sealant. So that's all been cleaned off, and now we're pretty much ready to fit the sump back on. Right, let's get to it. All the bolts here. Just a case of sliding it up over the exhaust and then pushing it up into position. Let's get a couple of bolts started. Obviously we've got a nice even bead of sealant on the sump, so maximise the chances of it actually sealing nicely. There's one on that side. Just get one in on the other side. There we go. I'll get them all wound in, roughly finger tight, just so they're all screwed in and none's cross-threaded. And then once I've done that, I'll get to torquing them up. I think it's around about 10 newton meters for these bolts, something like that. Cool. See you in a bit. Right then guys, so that's the sump all fitted. Nice new sump plug in there and all the bolts tightened up nicely. We've just got to replace the oil filter now, so the oil filter house is down there with the cartridge just up here, and then we can refill it back with oil. And yeah, hopefully we won't have no more oil pressure issues. Once we've done that, we'll run her up, get up the temperature, and as I say, make sure that oil pressure light doesn't come back.